Hey, what is up guys? My name's Netty the Noodle, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 useful tips for the new UI in ARK Survival Evolved, or the inventory screen, whatever. So in case you're new to it, I'll go over just pretty much every single thing about it, at least in the update 256.3. I'm just super excited because they've just improved so many things with this UI. So, let's get on with it. Alright, so let's start with tip number 1. You can actually press E while you're hovering over a clothing item, and it'll automatically equip it, which is very, very handy for, you know, putting on your armor really fast without having to double click it, which can be kind of annoying. I think it's just a lot faster just to press E, you know. So that is tip number 1. So tip number 2 is whenever you're in your crafting, when you actually start for the first time, you're probably gonna have some folders here, and they're probably pretty annoying. So you want to click folder view, and that'll just disable it, and then you'll actually be able to see your engrams, and you won't have to deal with the folders. Unless you like folders, then, you know, go for it. But if you're somebody like me who doesn't really like to dabble with folders and just wants to, you know, not spend all day in the crafting menu, then you can just, it's a lot easier just to, you know, be in this view so that you can just see everything here. And it's actually really clear because the background's gray and everything, and I really like that. Alright, so tip number 3 is if you press, let's see, O, by default it's O. I've changed it to tilde, but essentially O is drop, or you can just right click and click drop, but I think it's a lot easier just to, you know, press O, or you can of course rebind it in the menu. If you press T, it'll transfer your items across, which is quite nice, quite handy without you having to either double click or drag across. Tip number 4 is if you're in, you know, say a smithy, fabricator, or any dino's inventory, you can actually click U rather than structure, because this just shows kind of information about it, you know, storage, weight, things like that. If you click U, you can actually see your own stats, which is pretty handy, and it wasn't previously in the game. So yeah, that's tip number 4. Tip number 5 is when you first craft a smithy, you're probably going to notice if you craft something inside of the smithy, and you probably won't see it. You're gonna be like, what happened? Did it disappear? See, you can click inventory right here, and this is where your actual items are in the smithy. And I'm not exactly sure why they did this. I don't really know why they didn't just have, you know, a whole thing for it. But, you know, fair enough, wildcard. It's not super annoying, but it can be pretty tedious. Also, I guess you can also click show engrams, which I didn't actually know about, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, they give you a ton of options. Okay, so tip number 6 is going to be more of just kind of like the UI overall, so I can teach any of you just how to use it a bit better. So, and explaining everything. I mean, it's pretty simple, but for some people it can be complicated. Let's start with the left side here. Of course, you have your inventory and your crafting. This is where all your stuff is, as I showed you before. There's folder view. Then we have drop all, which I guess it drops all your inventory items. And then we have, you can also make folders. So if I want to make a folder for my sickle only, you know, gotta have all my sickles in one folder, then I can just drag it in there, and then I look in here. If you want to get rid of this, just delete it, and bam, there we go. So moving on to U, we have, this is where you put your armor, and your offhand you put a shield. And then you have your name, your level, your tribe, and your area you're in, as well as the kind of general area. And then we have the day, the time, the temperature. This is in Fahrenheit right now because I don't know how to read Celsius. And then we have wind. Not exactly sure what that affects in terms of ARK. But then we have the armor, hypothermal insulation, and then we have hyperthermal insulation. We have our XP bar, of course. Then we have our health, stamina, oxygen, food, water, weight, melee damage, movement speed, crafting speed, fortitude, and torpidity, which is a stat you of course can't upgrade. It's more of just a stat that goes up when you when somebody inflicts, or something inflicts torpor on you. Moving on to the engram screen. It's pretty basic. This is obviously where you learn everything, and you can search down here for anything, hatch frame. Yeah, so you can search for anything. Moving on to the tribe manager, we have, this is your tribe. This is your tribe log. It's pretty basic. You can figure it out. Then we have tame groups. This is more for if you want to command your dinosaurs. I don't really use this whatsoever, so I'm never actually in here. Then you have your survivor profile, which kind of shows you everything you've discovered in the game, as far as dossiers and cosmetics and things like that. And then we have, last but not least, the options, which of course you can, you know, change your controls, your audio, your general settings, and your graphics settings. on to tip number 7. So this is going to be the last tip. This is inside of a dino's inventory, and as you can see, we're in the Them tab. And you can see this little guy here, he has some berries. So if you press E while your mouse is hovering over something, it'll cause him to eat it. Now, herbivores, or at least I think if their health is all the way up, they won't have a cooldown on food. Unless that's just with herbivores, let me check. Yeah, so it's just with the herbivores. With carnivores and with humans, see there's a little cooldown timer there, so you can't actually spam it. So that's also the case with humans. Can't just spam food anymore, which is a shame. But I think it's just berries that don't have a cooldown, which is of course convenient, just because of the fact that you want to be able to spam berries because they don't give very much food. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. If you liked it, if it helped you at all, you can like it if you want to. And as always, if you wanna see more videos from me, you can subscribe. But okay. Anyways, that is going to be it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.